Good morning. Welcome to your Black Friday edition of the Early Morning Intuitive Guidance. We'll see how many of you pop on this morning or how many of you are crazy and out shopping. I did that once, I think. Yeah, not my gig. Not my gig at all. So, one of the most wonderful blessings that my family has ever created for all of us is agreeing not to exchange gifts. Much easier. If we find something during the year that we think is perfect for somebody, we buy it and we give it to them. But the Christmas shopping thing, nope. Good morning, CJ. You are the first one here today. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. So, it looks like I called our book for today to dress. We are both the same color. Can anybody guess what it is? Yep, we have outrageous openness today. So, I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. It went very well here. We had 8 people and lots of food and 2 dogs. Yeah, don't forget the dogs, right? Hello, Catherine. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. So, some leftovers, which I tried to send a whole lot of them on their way with people who left, and that helped me clear out the not useful containers in my cupboard. So, let's take a breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Oh, I like that one. That's a good one too. We've done that also. Yes, but the not having to shop for everybody, because there's always those people it's so easy to buy for, and a couple of people where you have no clue what to get them. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And at this juncture, most of us are trying to get rid of stuff instead of get more stuff. So, in through the nose, out through the mouth. There, doesn't that feel better already? Good morning, Brenda. Welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. We have the Canadian contingency in the house today. That is good. Good morning, Cindy. Welcome, welcome. And I think you're going to like our reading for today because it's very relevant this time of year. So we'll see for how many of you it fits. It certainly fits for me. And today's going to be, for me, a low-key kind of day. Yes, it's Black Friday, and last day of my Black Friday coaching specials, if you guys are interested. Good morning, Abigail. Glad you're here. And you can find them posted on my website, which is empowermentandpurpose.com. Under the events tab is where you will find it. And I've also posted it on this page and my other platforms. So not me on the other platforms. That's what I have the delightful Morgan for. She does all that stuff. Makes me very happy having someone do all that stuff for me. So, as I said, today we have outrageous openness. Look at that. We match. And the chapter we're reading is on page 79, and it's called The Bliss of No. And I know we've read this one before, but clearly the universe sees that we need a reminder. A reminder. So let's take a couple of nice deep breaths, opening ourselves up to receive this message. In through the nose, out through the mouth, spinning open your crown chakra, so the healing golden light can come down in through the nose, out through the mouth, dropping your shoulders, in through the nose, moving that healing golden light through your whole body. Bummer, frozen video. Well, I will post this as soon as we're done, so hopefully you can catch up with the bliss of no, because maybe there's something very useful there for you. We shall see. So, page 79 for those of you who want to read along. The bliss of no. Don't forget that no is a really, really complete sentence. Dita Manelli. And Tosha says, my friend Dita mentioned that she had spent the day home from work. I asked concerned, why were you sick? Nah, she shrugged, just felt like it. I was awestruck by the uber-Sagittarian offhand way she said that. I might have needed to add, because you know I've been working day and night. Or maybe I thought I'd come down with a cold if I didn't stop. How many of you have heard someone say to you, you don't have to work yourself to death until you get sick, and that's the only way you take time off. Yeah. An elegant entitled, I Just Felt Like It. Wow. Exhilarating, unknown terrain for my diligent Capricorn self. Want to know how hyper-responsible I used to be? Have you ever gotten those pages of awful address labels that charities send you, covered with flags or teddy bears or chirping birds? It took me years to realize I could just shred that crap and stop defacing my mail. Thank you for posting the quote, Cindy. Good morning, Mel. Glad you are here. Welcome. About that same time, I figured out that I didn't have to answer online surveys from my Office Max family about my recent shopping experience, and that I saw in a lightning bolt of visionary awareness, I could say a quick goodbye when a certain wingnut relative went on a rabid homophobic rant or two. I think I was 40, she says. And every day it gets easier. Now, I love this next sentence. Cindy, if you wouldn't mind putting this one in the feed, I think it is fabulous. Sometimes saying no at the right time just makes more and more space for the supreme pleasure of saying yes. Sometimes saying no at the right time just makes more and more space for the supreme pleasure of saying yes. And think about the implications of that. What that means is some of the things that you want, that you've been waiting for, that you've been hoping for, praying for, dreaming for, planning for, working for, don't have the room to come in because you haven't said no to the stuff that you didn't want to do or participate in or be or have or any of that, but you didn't work up the cojones to say no when it would have been appropriate. Doesn't mean you can't say no later. Right? I've been thinking about this, or I've been doing this. Thank you, Cindy. I appreciate it. I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I think I'm done at the end of the year. Find a way to say no to the stuff that's inhabiting your life that really doesn't belong there, that you don't want there, that's taking up prime real estate for the things that you do want in your life. Get some of that stuff out of there, and the stuff that needs to flow in, that is ready, right on the other side of the veil, ready to flow into its rightful place, can then do so. Let's see. Here's a little story about a novelist named Bryn. I gave a reading to a well-known novelist named Bryn. She confessed that her Oakland apartment was so crammed with piles of unanswered fan mail she could hardly move. The overflowing bags, some 8 or 9 years old, mocked and tortured her. As a dutiful Virgo, I know a couple of those, she figured if people had gone through the trouble of writing, they deserved a response. But after wrestling all day with a manuscript or two, the last thing she wanted was more work. I thought mail turning her home into an obstacle course was awfully symbolic. When I suggested that she just bless the letters and burn them all, Bryn nearly wept with happiness. She had wanted this all along. Bryn wrote to say that after she released the mail, her whole life had opened like a sunflower. Her books were her offering. They were enough. They were enough. How often do you think we don't say no? Because it's that thing of, I'm not doing enough, I'm not enough, I don't have the right to say no, I should do this, blah, blah, blah. How often do you think that's the reason we don't say no? I would say pretty darn often. Pretty darn often. So that may be more of the root that needs to be addressed to then help us be able to more comfortably say no. Do you feel resentment toward anybody? Up there, the external validation thing. Yep. And where'd my little note go? I have a note here. You piss people off when you're a disruptor. You piss people off when you say no. Who cares? Who cares? Yes, I know most of us have been raised to believe it's not okay to have people mad at us and go along to get along and be nice, especially Midwest nice, right? We're past that. I feel like at 63, I have done my time. Now it's my turn to say no. No, not interested in that one. Nope, don't think that one's it. And interestingly, the universe gives me these opportunities. So right now I have 5 projects, potential projects on the plate. There's the selfish thing. Often said by people who are trying to manipulate you into doing something you don't care to do. Blink, blink. Yeah. So all these opportunities, wonderful opportunities. But here again is the definition of discernment, when you need to discern among good opportunities, good choices, which one or ones hit the nail most on the head, or yield the most positive things, or make my heart sing the most, whatever. The discernment process is happening. How do I make decisions about this? And some of those options are laden with the shoulds, oughts, have tos, and musts. Guess what? Those options probably aren't going to make it across the finish line. So, what about for you? What about for you? What are either the things you have on your plate right now that really need to not be there, or not be there anymore? Maybe you've done your time with it. My friend Flo, who is 81 years old, talks about the period of time where she took care of the old people. And by that she means her mother and both of her in-laws. She had all 3 of them living with them at once, in addition to a daughter with disabilities. Yeah, she's done her time. She ain't got to do that no more. Done. She still attends to her daughter's affairs, but she did her time. Enough. Enough, enough, enough. What about for you? What would you love? Wait, where is it? Here, I got it. Hang on. The magic wand. You ready? Here we go. Poof. No consequences. There's no consequences to you saying no, right here, right now. What would be the first thing you would choose to say no to? No consequences. What would you say no to? Now, I want you to think about that, because I will guarantee you've worked up all kinds of things in your head that you think are the potential consequences. Can I get an amen for oftentimes when we go ahead with the no, the consequences that we expected are not the consequences we get? Or if they are, they're in a greatly attenuated version compared to what we thought. We thought, okay, I'm going to say no, and the earth is going to stop turning. You have a green one? Fabulous. Yeah, I love these. And I used it to make a point. In therapy, oftentimes people were coming in wanting the magic pill or the sage advice that was going to make all the difference, rather than doing their work. Life is hard work. Life has a lot of effort that is called for. Yes, we have the periods of time where we're in flow and things go well, but it's like the bicycle. There's the periods of time where we need to pedal also. And a pill isn't going to fix it. I'm sorry. A pill isn't going to fix it. Even if you have a diagnosable illness and a pill will address some symptoms, it's typically not fixing the problem. And there's typically things that we still need to do to address the issue. So for instance, if someone who has diabetes, good morning, Gwen, glad you're here, thinks that insulin's going to fix the problem, no, there's still other adjustments that need to be made. More exercise, eating well, getting enough sleep, monitoring stress, yada, yada, yada. There's a whole lifestyle change that belongs as part of the package in addition to insulin, right? And we can say this across the board, right? Cancer, yes, you may be getting radiation and or chemo, but what else do they tell you? You must take good care of yourself. It's our wake-up call to take good care of ourselves. What do we need to do to be honoring what we need? So this chapter is perfect for right now. Chapter, I love that. It's 2 pages. But it packs a lot of a wallop, doesn't it? That idea that we can say no when it's in our highest and best good to do so. And that things that we have on our plate right now, we can decide to take them off our plate. You know, I've been in charge of the prayer chain for 5 years now. Time for someone else to step up. I'll do it through the end of the year, then someone else can take it over. Thanks so much. Assume someone will take it over. If no one does, allow it to languish for a bit. See who steps up. It doesn't mean you have to begrudgingly put it back on your plate. No, 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 no. So, I want you to think about this today. If you're one of those manic shoppers who's out knocking doors down and ripping things out of people's hands, think about this as you're going about your business. What are the things on your plate that you want to release? Figure out, how can I release them effectively? Who do I need to tell? What things do I need to put in place first? What's a reasonable timeline? Maybe you don't cut something loose immediately. Maybe you wait till the end of the year, whatever. Maybe you do cut it loose immediately. I recall a friend of mine saying, you know, we've done the family holiday meals for the last decades. Someone else step up. We're not doing it this year. Did that get some raised eyebrows? Absolutely. Too bad. Too bad. People will adjust. Eventually they'll figure it out, right? So think about that. If you want to put in the feed what you're ready to let go of, even if you're afraid to do it, put it in there. We'll talk about it. It'll be okay. So, the bliss of no. Practicing the bliss of no. Don't forget that no is a really, really complete sentence. No justification necessary, no explanations, nothing. Just no. No, thank you. Nope, not for me. Practice. Practice, practice, practice. Have an awesome Black Friday. Remember my coaching specials run through 11:59 this evening. I don't know why it doesn't go to midnight, but it doesn't. I suppose that flips it into the next day. Anywho, so 11:59 tonight, coaching specials are done. If you're interested, I'd love to have a chat with you about that. So just send a little message that, hey, I'm thinking about it, and we can talk. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, especially saying no. Bye-bye.